Welcome back to a new episode. We are alive. We have done Weston, and this is all going to be about the Weston Beach Race. Don't forget the other channel, Mark McCann 64, all the usual stuff on there, Tuesday, 7 p.m. So, we all enjoy it?
Yeah.
I did.
So what it was, we went down to Weston Beach Race. It's a motorcycle event. It's a 3-hour race on the sand. They get loads of buckets full of sand, make massive, great big sand dunes, and basically try and kill everybody for 3 hours. Massive event. I think in our race, there was about 1,000 entries. So it was busy. Loads and loads of people. I don't know what the entry is to people to watch, but it's huge. And I think pretty much if you don't get down into Weston by sort of like 9 o'clock, you're not getting to watch the race for like 12:30. It's queues into it, nowhere to park, just massive, just super, super great event. So I've done the race lots of times. I think we probably think about 15 times, and the last time was about 15 years ago. It was always a massive part of my family's holiday. So we'd all go down all together, stop in a hotel, mom, my dad, my brother, all our family. My dad absolutely loved it. He was main pit crew with Mikey. Plenty of arguments, plenty of tales about him sort of defending his space in the pits. It was a big part of his life. Obviously, unfortunately, my dad passed away recently, so I decided to ask Brett and Darb to come and do it with me, sort of like one last time. Amazingly, big respect. They both said yes, which honestly I didn't think they would. We managed to do it and survive. And this is going to be all about our weekend, what we did, just fill you in exactly how much fun we had. So I obviously raced for many, many, many years on my bike, and I've raced in sand. I've done Weston Beach Race. So I had a massive advantage over these two. And I want them to both fill us in sort of like to what level and how long ago they rode. So how much shit they were in to be there on that day. So Brett first.
So I probably haven't raced since 1990.
So that's 32 years ago.
Yeah. And then, and I've rode a bit of enduro, like I said, Tom's Farm, a few green lanes and things like that, but I've never rode sand. Probably the only sand I've ever rode prior to Weston is Johnny Williams' sand pit.
Really?
Do you remember that track?
Yeah.
We used to race MCL there.
And that was heavy sand as well, not light.
It's not like that, no. Not like that. Just
first
each front wheel.
Yeah. And Darb?
A little bit earlier than that.
A bit limited.
What year would it have been? I'm going to say, what year did you say?
90.
So
91.
mine would have been 87.
87.
Yeah, I should have dug it out really, but...
That's the year of my bike.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
So 87.
87. 30...
34, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And you've not been on a motocross bike from then till a couple of weeks.
Yeah, pretty much.
He wasn't going to get on one of them, was he? I said, are you going to ride? And he was like, no, I'll be all right. I was thinking, you're not.
I always thought with Darb doing what he did, which is like mental, because everyone who they're training, they've got they're proper fit people who race every week. And Darb,
what are you saying? I'm not fit.
I am saying that, yeah.
I've known you for 20 years, never seen you sweat.
He made up for it the other week.
He did.
You sweated 20 years in one day.
Yeah.
It was so not been on one since then. Unbelievable. Yeah. So when we were telling people the story when we were down there, saying that Darb hadn't ridden for that long and he'd only ridden 4 races at AMCA Junior beforehand, people were slightly worried for you. Probably a bit more than you actually got told.
Yeah, because they was just like, you'll be all right.
That's right.
And I was happy with that. But then they were like...
As soon as he wasn't listening.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, they were like... And they were so right. They were so right.
And also as well, that obviously the event used to be really, really difficult. And with, I suppose, health and safety and just evolution of bikes. It's got easier and easier. So when we got down there, we then saw the promo video saying it's been the toughest Western for 30 years.
You tried to hide that from me, didn't you? You just tried to hide it, and then once I heard it, I was like, whoa.
So it was definitely a challenging time. So if we talk about where we got our bikes from quickly. So I had a bike. I bought my bike about 8 years ago. It stopped in the garage from that second. Haven't touched it. It was still dirty. So I dug it out, managed to set it on fire, getting it ready. But it went and it worked perfectly. Brett's.
I got my bike off my nephew, Adam Knight. He kindly lent me his 250. He's got a few, and he lent me the 252 stroke KTM.
And did you tell him it was Weston Beach Race?
Yeah, I told him it, and he said, I'll use that one. I use it for Barmouth Beach Race. He rides it at Barmouth. But it was great.
Perfect. Darb?
Wow, you organised it sort of through a friend of a friend. So through MX Engineering, Jay, who is there, he just kindly offered it.
Jay, to be fair, was like what he did, like bearing in mind, he didn't know you.
No.
Never met you.
No.
And lent you a bike, an amazing bike.
It's pride and joy as well. It was like a showpiece. It was on a wall. When I first saw it, it was on a wall.
And so how did your bike get down there?
He just did everything, literally. Even from getting it off the wall, taking it apart to take it down some stairs.
Just so
I could practice on it. Just like, I was like blown away. And then he just turned up the practice track. I just rocked up like a pro and just rode the bike. And he was happy with that.
And the week before?
I broke it. I didn't break it, it broke. Well, I obviously weren't going too fast because that weren't going to happen.
So bearing in mind, that's 5 days before we had to leave.
Yeah. 5 days before. I was just practicing on a practice track, little bomb hole, muddy track, just downhill, and it just seized up. But I pretty much knew it weren't the engine because clutch in, and it was still locked up. So I pretty much knew it was the gearbox, and sure enough, it had crunched everything. And
so that was on the Saturday. On the Sunday, he drove down to...
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
On that note, while it was crunched, it was in the middle of the track. I had to drag it off the track, thick and mud. What do you mean? Hold on a minute. You're not the only one with a bad back. Pull my back out. 5 days before Weston Beach Race, I did my back in.
Love it. And no bike to ride.
No bike.
So you should have took mine and Brett's sort of like laid back preparation. And
not done anything.
Not done anything. Yeah, that was the way forward.
I think I might have struggled a bit more.
So then Jay obviously built it up that next day.
Yep. So the next day I whizzed down to Bristol, got some new cogs, whizzed them back, and then sure enough on the night Jay was putting them in.
Unbelievable.
Job done.
Bless him. So we all dropped our bikes off at George's at MX Engineering, thinking that I suppose really they were just going to have a bolt check.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing was going to fall out. And then when we picked them up, when we picked them up.
When we saw them.
Yeah, when we saw them down at the beach race when they were delivered.
When Jay took them all to the Weston Beach Race for us.
Unbelievable. And then we got there and they were like prepped to a different level, weren't they?
Yeah. That expansion chamber, of which I was thinking, what's that? For the radiator.
The radiator.
Yeah, an additional, I suppose it's an expansion chamber.
Yeah.
Puts it back into
it back in.
I was thinking, amazing.
We had air filter skins.
Everything. Oh yeah, the rad covers. Everything, the foam behind the rads.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the
airbox.
Yeah,
the toe ropes.
Yeah,
they're hand pulls.
Hand pulls?
Brilliant. Well, yeah. Well, for you, it's your arm.
It's a toe rope for me.
No, he didn't use it. It was ours. Ours were ours and ours were his as well because he didn't lift it. Had a bad back. And that was all, like, it was just unbelievable that they all turned up with all the graphics on, new plastics, which was
that was the other, they were there like
and
late, weren't you? Late on the Wednesday night. You were still sticking them on at 10 o'clock.
And you two got scoops. Scoops came with my bike, but you two got some scoop tyres, didn't you?
Oh god, yeah, tyres as well. Yeah, had sand tyres.
Yeah.
So like mine ended up with a sand tyre as well. So yeah, and so I suppose the thank you is obviously George and Jay, and then also as well, it was Factory Image Racing. Jason, who was amazing to us. So he gave us all the plastics, sent all those through. And then ESP did our graphics cheap for us. And then obviously the finale was Chad with like
Chad Yarrington.
Like these rye clothing, and it was just amazing. Like we looked fantastic. I've not had new motocross kit for about 20 years, and I didn't realise this is a bit spandexy, isn't it? And
brilliant,
stretchy, which is obviously ideal for my guns when they sort of like they overextend. So yeah, it was the best stretchy material and fantastic. And thank you to them so much for all helping out.
Definitely.
So when we got down there, so let's have a look where we got to. Yes. So the anticipation. So I suppose the first day we went and had a little bit of a walk around the track, didn't we?
Little bit.
And Darb, what was you wearing on your feet? How much were your trainers worth? How much were your trainers worth?
I thought you might wear yours to match the gear as well.
How much were your trainers worth?
Oh, they're just some cheap Nike Travis Scotts.
Ideal for walking down Weston Beach Race. Did you not think we were going?
It was all about the look. It was all about the yellow.
And what did you think when I remember you saying to me, the first thing you said to me was, I don't remember it being this big when I watched. Because I suppose when you're watching it from the outside, not worrying having to go up there.
Not worrying about it.
They don't look that big.
Well, it don't matter, does it?
You don't care.
The bigger they are, the better, isn't it? When you're watching, the more crashes. When the shoe's on the other foot.
And so what happened when you saw everything?
Yeah, it was a little bit daunting. Very.
Because you didn't see me, did you?
No, because I put it to the back of my mind. It wasn't until.
Hang on a minute. When you come round down the straight and you saw the jumps that had been dug out with water and Jay was laying the one jump, you were like.
I was just thinking, how am I going to do it? But no, it still didn't scare me. That didn't. I put it to the back of my mind. I'm pretty good at that.
I suppose, just because you can't worry about it.
Yeah, so I was going to have to do it. Well, you was going to have to carry me, weren't you? It weren't my problem. It was just like, Brett, Mark, come on, crack on.
So the terminology we said was like Darb obviously was going to be the leader, and he went as fast or as slow as he wanted, and he set the pace. And basically we agreed that we all get round together or we all don't get round together. So, the ethos was not to leave a man behind. And if it was going to take us half hour or 3 hours to get around that track, we were doing a lap of that track. And it's a good job it was a 3 hour race.
Yeah.
So, walking the track, we met our new best friend.
Yeah, Todd.
So Todd Kellett, he's won it, I don't know how many times. I suppose we should have checked that out. 5 or 6 times. Five times.
Yep.
And I didn't know him at all. And he took the time to speak to us when we were walking the track. Just said that he'd watched our YouTube channel, which was really good of him, and was just talking really about, giving you some advice.
Flipping out.
How did it go?
Yeah. I used every bit of it. Yeah. I don't think, I thought I could use it, but in practice it wasn't quite that easy.
No, he was good though, wasn't he? A lot of fun and really impressive, laughing. how his preparation, and he's basically a professional beach racer. So he does all of the French Championship, he was saying, obviously does Western, and the big race, which I guess he's got coming up, is Le 2K, which he did say, unbelievably, he'd swap all the wins he's ever had just to win that race. So obviously he's never won it. It's big. So good luck, Todd, for that. And fingers crossed for you.
And if you've never seen him race, you should just watch it. Watch that Western. Just watch Western and Todd. Oh, it's just untrue. It's like he's gliding in it.
We just saw a bit of a video, didn't we?
Oh, just
the drone footage one.
That's
the one that you want to watch.
Just untrue. He just makes everybody just look like standing still. Well, they are standing still. Yeah. I was.
But not like everybody.
Everybody. Well, he lapped everybody all the way up to third. It's just Ash and...
Conrad.
Conrad Muse.
Conrad
yeah.
Muse, yes.
Conrad, just the only two he didn't lap.
So Conrad Muse was second and
Yep.
Ash was third.
Yeah. But, you know, them three riders are just mega. Conrad's mega in the sand, and Ash has won Western before. He's mega in the sand. So
Yeah, Ash is like he's so strong and naturally fit, but when he's raced for us on the arena cross, he's struggled with that explosive power. But for him to go around and like how he does for 3 hours, you know,
walk in the park, innit?
Yeah. So obviously we've all got different strengths and weaknesses, and like Ash's ability is amazing, but he struggles with that explosive stuff. But with that longevity of the race and the endurance racing, he's
But
amazing.
even with that short explosive stuff, he used to be brilliant, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's just age, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose age and sort of...
we ought to have him here, don't we, really? Talking about him like this. Next time you see him, he's in a black your eye.
Do you know what I'm shocked at? After going to the event and meeting the riders that you knew, like Ash and Todd and Conrad. I remember Conrad when he was a kid riding at Apex. And how is it not an Olympic sport? Like, because you've got surfing, you've got skate park, BMX
now. Yeah.
All those other alternative sports. Why isn't motocross and freestyle motocross in the Olympics? Because these lads, you know, deserve more recognition worldwide.
Especially how fit they need to be.
Because they only get recognition within motorsport, don't they? Whereas if they're Olympic athletes, they would be known worldwide for being Olympians, not just motocross riders, not just dirt bike riders.
And they've got to be so fit to do it.
Yeah,
so fit. Even as a motorsport, they're definitely the fittest motorsport, but probably some of the fittest athletes as well.
Yeah, but how many athletes? You watched that footage of Todd with the drone, how he's riding. Yeah. He rides like that for 3 hours, not just a lap.
I know.
But I'd imagine the way he rides, I'd imagine he could go
five.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's in itself, it's like phenomenal, isn't it? You know, it's like out and out respect as an athlete. And I'm sure you'd get...
As not an athlete. Just because you're an athlete. So you athlete, non-athlete.
Hang on. Do I look
as an
like
athlete?
Do I look like...
Did he say as an athlete?
No, as he's an athlete.
No, you said looking at him as an athlete.
As he's an athlete. Yeah, not me. I'm far from an athlete. Though. I think I'm about 6 stone the wrong side of being an athlete, to be fair.
I think, Brett is by far the fittest out of the three of us, that's for certain.
I thought he was going to say he's by far the fittest fat man.
He is.
I remember when we were doing a boxing match, and like I just said something to Darby, and he said I didn't say it, but I remember you saying you're the fittest fat bloke, you know.
Yeah, probably am.
That's what you said.
What I need is a fat Olympics. That's what I need. I'd do all right then.
Brilliant.
That'd be all right.
See, you don't feel pain like normal people, do you?
Of course I do. Well, I think I do. I just blank it out.
Exactly.
Just shut it off.
You're the same with tiredness, and you just go through it, don't you? You can just keep going, can't you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. There is a point where you stop. You come to a grinding halt. But
it's about 3 hours after. 3 hours after me.
In my head, if someone sets you a challenge, I'm going to die trying. Well, you're going to have to kill me. That's what
about right.
That's what I'm telling myself.
I'm definitely not cut from the same cloth in any way, shape or form. I'm just too stupid.
You should know your limits, shouldn't you, really?
I'm too stupid to remember pain, so then I always end up back in that place. Then when I'm back in that place, I think, oh yeah, I remember I remember this now. But yeah, I forget about it. Have you ever what bones have you broke?
Just my nose.
Did you break it or somebody else? Somebody else's girlfriend's boyfriend, I think.
I was in school actually. Somebody hit me with a hockey stick.
That was a good one.
Were you playing hockey?
And teacher laughed.
Really?
Yeah,
were you playing hockey?
Yeah.
What on earth were you doing playing hockey?
It's a girls' game.
At Bridley Moor?
No, it's in Walkwood. In middle school. Yeah, middle school. Hit me with hockey. And the teacher was
Did you ever play hockey at school?
Don't think so. You're joking.
You sure you didn't go to private school?
My school was in Matchborough. They wouldn't give you hockey sticks.
No kind of stick there.
They had hockey sticks and lacrosse, I think, where Darb went.
He probably had horse riding as well. Horse riding on a Sunday.
It's probably not the only time I've had my nose broke. Probably my sister probably broke it for me when I was about 12, probably as well. She used to beat me up.
And your track record of, well, actually, we haven't got time, have we? No. We ain't got enough room on the SD card.
You've done more than me. You've done more than I have.
I don't know.
You've done major ones, haven't you? You've done your neck, your back.
Yeah.
Collarbones. I've done my legs.
I don't like to talk about my back, to be fair.
I can feel your pain though.
Yeah. How was your back?
It was all right.
He come off the race and he said, I'm fixed. It's fixed me back.
No, it was getting better and better. Rob, to be fair, shout out to Rob. He was he sorted it out the next day.
Yeah, we should
he did that
mention
cupping,
Rob,
didn't he?
Because he let us ride Brewery MX.
Yeah. Oh, of course, yeah, that's rude of us. Yeah.
Bromyard and Brewery, Bromsgrove, Bromyard. Brilliant, two brilliant tracks.
What do you mean he let you ride?
He just said ride, didn't he? We went to pay. He just said ride.
I paid for you both.
You did.
Yeah,
we asked him that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't pay.
I think Darb offered to pay for you.
Yeah, I did. As a Mark paid,
he was like,
McCann.
I know him.
Yeah.
I need to pay him.
He said you don't pay to have your back done.
I think I'm the only person who does pay him in cash.
That's only because you asked for a happy ending.
That's the only reason I have him. So then the next thing we had to do was put our bikes into sort of parc ferme, I suppose. So the bikes go into this massive, great big segmented area, and you go your number of where you are. So we were quite a high number. So ours were at the very back. So you have scrutiny, and so they check that the wheels aren't going to fall off. And obviously ours were fantastic. Flew through there thanks to the boys at MX Engineering. Then we had to take them obviously to the back of the thing, and that's where the problems started, I suppose.
Wow, Brett was supposed to remember some bits of wood.
Pieces of wood, yes, it's Brett's fault.
Okay, I'll hold my hands up to that.
So basically you go in there and you have to take something to put your bike onto because it's going to be there for 2 days, or sometimes 3 days, and it's got to sit there in the wind and rain, waiting for the next time you see it is the very, very start second of the race. So we obviously put our bikes in there, didn't have the pieces of wood. So some idiot decided that if we lent all three next to each other in a pile, they'd be all right for 2 days.
Which idiot is that?
I can't look at myself.
I was just told.
No, so it was you.
It was me.
It was you, yeah.
I thought it'd be all right.
Yeah.
So that's what happened, and they fell over.
With a ting.
With a couple of tings, I think. So they fell over. Now, bearing in mind, we're parc ferme, we're in Weston, they've been prepared. It snapped my gear lever off. It snapped Darb's brake or clutch?
Brake.
From brake lever, and dented Brett's exhaust.
Yeah.
So all three bikes were then sort of, yours was sort of usable to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Mine was definitely not usable, and Darb's was definitely not usable.
At that point, I was thinking, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Got away with it.
Yeah, this is it. This is better than the bad back.
Like DK Money, like laying on the floor. So then we got to that stage, and then we had to obviously pull the bikes back out of parc ferme.
Hold on a minute. Who was helping us?
Oh yeah, Todd's dad.
It was legend.
So Todd Kellett's dad, love to know what his name is, but we'll have to refer to him as Todd's dad.
Mr. Kellett.
Mr. Kellett, who is like how happy.
Yeah, he was running, wasn't he? He was running around.
I've got
something. I've got a stand.
Like, bearing in mind, this is like the fastest guy's dad in the pits. We've never met him before. He's never set eyes on us three idiots. And he was loving trying to help us. He was just brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Such a happy man. And it was a pleasure to sort of like meet him.
Yeah. It was, wasn't it? For that instance, he was like, don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Yeah,
even though he hadn't got it, he says, I'll get you one.
Yeah,
he did. He said,
sort that.
If I haven't got it, I'll get you one. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. We were like,
we never met him before, never set eyes on him.
No,
great man.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So we had to pull them back out of parc ferme then, and then we spent the next sort of 48 hours trying to source parts to get the bikes back running again. I was like fairly sort of laid back about the whole situation as usual. And I managed to sort out a gear lever for mine, Darb. Where did your front brake lever come from?
Jay had one.
Oh, Jay had
got
a spare,
everything,
obviously.
But also,
got spare
Mike
everything.
Fox got in touch with the shop down there in Weston.
Yeah.
And they'd left and gone to get it for you.
Say thank you to them. That was A&T Motocross, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, so like that, they sort of like left the stand to go back to their warehouse to get some parts for us, which was good. And obviously, your bike has now got the
Obviously, Jay and George know
it's here. Yeah, so
Jay and George took it and they've stripped them, cleaned them, and they blew the dent out
and got it back, so it's ready to go back.
Yeah.
So then our bikes got repaired, and then we put them back in the morning of the race, didn't we?
Yeah.
So on the Sunday morning, so early doors, we put our bikes back into the Parc Ferme.
Yeah.
Mine sort of
yours didn't go in the Parc Ferme.
Well, it did, didn't it? But like, not in the same place as ours.
About 3 rows back from the front, and ours was at the farthest you could go.
Yeah. I was with all the
Famous people.
The famous people, yeah. But there was about 15 of us who didn't. So just to paint the picture, there's basically this massive, great big sectioned off area. The gates get opened and everybody has to sprint to their bikes, basically.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do any of that. I just strolled up to my bike, which was already at the front, not with all the normal commoners.
Yeah, the peasants.
Not with the peasants. The peasants. So the peasants had to run for their bikes. Sorry for the other 998 people who had to run for the bikes. So I didn't have to run from a bike. I got there extremely late to get that. Everyone was sat on their bikes, apart from me, like wondering, I must thought, who the hell is this dickhead? Like,
It was you and the 10 other guys at the front, and then there was me at the toilet.
Oh yeah, I did. I was waving to you because I could see these two sort of like with everybody else over like queuing, and I saw the toilet. What happened with the toilet incident?
Oh,
then?
flipping brilliant.
The nerves got the better of it.
Yeah, no,
on the day.
literally, it was. I needed a toilet, and I knew I needed it all day, but I couldn't go. I'm not the opposite to you. Like you're going all the time.
Yeah, it
on race
stresses
day.
me out, yeah.
I'm completely opposite, but I knew I needed to go to the toilet. And then literally I had to go, and it was like...
We were just about to go in.
It was like 2 minutes.
Come with me, I need the toilet. And I was like, you serious?
Yeah, I was
it that
holding
bad?
something.
What was I holding the gloves? I was holding the gloves or something. When I was
It was hilarious. I had my helmet on, everything, trying to get in one of them cubicles without trying to touch anything. Oh, God. I couldn't turn around.
Did you pay for the seat?
Oh, God. No, I just
We
couldn't
went
get
in
anywhere.
one.
Well, I couldn't pull the gear down. It's that tight, isn't it? It just wouldn't go down past my knees because I had knee
did you
pads
sit on
on,
the
boots.
seat?
No. It's just like I had to
Hovered.
launch it.
Take aim and fire.
Yeah.
I thought it was quick.
It was like a torpedo.
And then obviously...
Literally came out of there and we had to run for our
We had
bikes.
to go in the gate, didn't we? Go in the gate.
Literally.
But then there was like blokes on the right-hand side going towards our bikes. There was a clear way, for which
You've done this
I
before,
presumed
haven't you,
it was
Mark?
like a path.
Yeah,
You've done this
yeah,
before.
yeah.
You've run for the bikes
It was
before.
like a path
Even when mine's been in there, it's still been
at the front.
the first row or
First
whatever.
row.
Yeah.
Never like where we were supposed
We
to
were
be.
last.
Not even when you was kids though. You must have had to do it back in the day.
No, I sort of like...
Flipping hell.
because the difference was when we were younger.
Money.
No. Yeah. Dickhead. The difference
We
was...
didn't have none then.
It was
We
Pat,
didn't
wasn't
have
it?
none then.
No, do you know what it
No, but
was?
Pat did. Pat always had a few quid to go him to the front, didn't he?
Yeah, Dad definitely didn't.
He'd have moved, he'd have kicked other bikes over to get
Yeah, that would have been it. He'd have used his
definitely would have
brute.
definitely pushed in.
It was first come, first serve back in the day. So basically, if you got down there, we used to get down there on like
Wednesday.
Friday morning. We'd be down on the beach at like 7 for when like
Paddling.
that would be queuing to get you. So then you'd all have to get your bikes scrutineered as fast as you could to the next station, and then my bike would be in the first 10, like in
Flipping
the
brilliant.
so like you'd have a. Still, like not with the seat. There's always been that few seated riders.
Yeah.
So sorry. So like when those gates opened, obviously,
Yes.
so 900 people.
Worried about losing him, and within 5
wasn't.
seconds he was gone. I was. I went
No,
left.
you went.
I
He was
went left.
there. He was like there on his bike. I could see him.
Oh no! I went. Oh, there was a
He
gap on
ditched
the
me
left,
straight away.
and the people, all the bikes had fallen over, so they weren't going.
And falling over because they'd been pushed over.
Yeah, they were all kicking each other's bikes.
stampede.
So I looked for him to pull him that way. He's gone. I'm thinking, someone's trampled on him. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be on the floor
like an ant.
He's going to be on the floor underneath all that.
Resemble that.
We got to the path. There was this path cleared on the right hand side against the fence, and then so I can see him, and I think if I can get in front, he'll see me because it's only like less half a metre wide.
With 1,000 people.
But then the next thing, there's fucking blokes riding up that bit, that gap.
Yeah.
And they were just riding
So that
over.
was supposed to be a walking area.
Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah,
almost.
and they were riding up
There
it,
was
weren't
some
they?
against the fence, though, weren't there?
Yeah, and they were just like...
And they couldn't get a bike
someone
started.
rode
and
over
stuff,
my
bless
leg
them.
and someone just rode into me, and it was like, I was just like, mate, and he was like, they're just giving
It is chaos, isn't it?
And I was just like laughing then. I was thinking, I hope he's all right. I hope he's on the fence or something.
I had my feet up. I was listening to a bit of music. It was lovely where I was chatting to all the professionals. It was lovely.
Well, it would have been nice. We could have
There was
stopped another a cup of tea with Kelly instead, couldn't we?
Yeah.
That'd have been all right.
Yeah,
Wasn't he there? Didn't he? Wasn't he?
I think he was.
He was
yeah.
waiting.
Yeah,
he was waiting.
When
He was
we were
going.
there.
Yeah, he
Literally,
shouted, "Good
just
luck,
give us
lads."
that, yeah,
Good luck,
honestly.
lads.
Yeah,
I swear.
promise.
Good
Yeah.
luck, lads. Good
Yeah.
luck. And he was talking to
Was
him.
he
I was like,
really?
"Come on."
And look, he was
Is
like,
that
come
what
on,
you're
crack
saying?
on. I was like, I in no rush. Honestly, because you'd
got
already
all that.
tuned me up about the fumes, and he wanted to go like, and I was
know,
like,
just
stay
was-
back because I didn't want to, because people had already said, don't get too close to the bike in front because of the fumes, and like I was already smelling the fumes, and they said you will be sick or you don't want to be choking yourself.
Not before a 3-hour race.
No, because there is, a lot of fumes,
Yeah,
a lot of two strokes there.
Yeah,
and
it's hard. I was sat on my bike, just relaxing, chilling out. And when I saw the stampede, because you hear like everyone
Yeah.
pushing into each other, then you hear, and then literally it seemed like 15 seconds, and everyone's like banging into the back of you, and then they're all like all hepped up. We're all sat there just
waiting.
So we haven't got that adrenaline like they have, and they're like banging into you and like flipping. There's a lot of this going on, and I was like, chill out, lads. We're all going to be all right. And
That's all right. You got a button start as
yeah,
well.
but
Yeah.
start, I had no problem whatsoever.
I've got to say, that's probably one of my biggest mistakes. I thought, going
Jay's
back to the
biggest
bikes.
mistake.
No, not Jay's mistake. Because in all fairness
He'll
to
have
him,
it
he
sorted
did
out.
offer me a different bike. So I thought 125 Suzuki, absolutely mega bike. Not the most reliable bike, obviously. That's why it broke. But I thought mega bike, it'll be lighter for me to lift.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
amount of times I'm going to drop it.
It was a mega bike.
But now, I've done it on that 125. I think maybe I should have had a 250F with electric start.
Next year.
Yeah.
Because as much as it falling over and me having to pick it up, but the worst part was getting back on there and having to
yeah,
kick it over.
100%.
Even though it started really well, when it got warm.
And when you're tired as well, like the power goes out. Look, the thing there's 2 strokes and 4 strokes, and basically some 4 strokes now have electric start. So you literally press a button like a car or a road bike and it starts. With Darbs, with the 2-stroke or the older bikes and Brett's as well, you have to kick them. So there's a kickstart. Now the trouble is when they've been upside down, you've crashed, you're tired, the bikes are hot, they're increasingly difficult to start. And once by the time you pick the bike up, and then if it doesn't start the first 3 kicks, it just kills your engine. It kills your engine.
You lose the will, don't you? Straight away think, oh, you bastard.
So I've just got that out of you and I, that you're admitting now electric is the way forward.
Not cars. We're not getting onto cars. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Hydrogen's the way forward.
Oh.
No electric.
Synthetic fuels
So
ongoing.
when we got started, that's where we were at.
Yeah.
Now, do you know when you were walking across the grass to where?
Walking, we was trying to run.
you
We were
were-
running. Yeah, we were running.
yeah, we were-
yeah,
we was.
I was running out the way of the bikes, trying to run.
Honestly, it was like that. It
So
was
you were-
proper
you were
sketchy. Oh, well, I was sort of
Yeah.
running along
Did you
the
have
fence.
the GoPros running by then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can see if
You'll
you were
see
running.
that.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
brilliant. We'll be able to see that.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
was
going to
running
be on
along
the
fence.
channel.
Probably was running while I was having a poo. Might see a cubicle door.
So hopefully we're just seeing Todd's dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
That would be brilliant. That's great. So you came running, and basically I set off from the pit. Like we all then, the gates open, and Gareth, the guy who runs it, Gareth Hockey, and Margaret, great I run an amazing event, and all their staff made. I suppose they were just unbelievable to us, weren't they?
Yeah. I've not knowing what to expect. I mean, I've been to watch it a few times, but the way you were looked after and
Yeah.
treated and, you know, dealt with.
Yeah.
When you don't know when I didn't know what I'm doing. Do you know you
they
did?
were-
But
they
it
were
was
great.
like,
They
and
got it
when we went
organised, don't
through
they?
and is it Gareth?
Gareth, yeah.
He came and he went, they were like, no, you can't come through because you haven't got the right numbers on.
Yeah,
Do you
because
remember?
we had all got 64 on basically.
Yeah, 641, 642, 643. But that bloke's going, no, it's not on. And I was going, no, it's all been dealt with. No, you've got to get, okay, I'll get some new numbers, mate. It's no problem. Can you just pass it? Like, and he come down.
Stick
He's
it
like,
on like we used
carry
to.
on, just let them go through. It's not,
He actually said,
Thank
"What are you
you.
doing here? Why are you
What are
trying
you-
to why are you trying to put your bikes in here?" Like,
Yeah.
And yeah, like I've known Gareth and Margaret for a long, long time. They're doing like amazing for the sport. But yeah, like the circumstances we were there,
Yeah.
they gave us their full backing.
Yeah, he definitely he was
Full
he was
backing.
right behind you, wasn't he?
They were
With
brilliant. So obviously Gareth opens the gate and he's on a quad, and then he's got 1,000 people sort of. So
Pushing.
the race between where we were parked and the sand itself is only
beach,
100 meters,
Yeah,
but
if that,
absolute
50,
chaos.
Yeah,
Well, it was another 100 metres for us.
that's what I was.
We
That's
had
what
to
I was
run 100 metres.
Yeah.
Like we had to.
run 100 meters, ride 200 meters.
Yeah, exactly.
We were
That's
like-
right. Yeah,
but
it was
we-
200 metres for us.
I was trying to get him to hurry up, thinking we might catch you in the carnage. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was thinking he's gone. We've got to catch
I
McCann.
went never go without him. I did tell him at the time that tough shit. My dad wanted me to race, and they were by themselves. But
You'd have got a bollocking off your dad for stopping,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
yeah. Like at this time in life, he'd have been
been
fine
right
with
with
it. But back in the day, if I'd
Yeah.
have waited, if I'd have even sort of, I'd have
For
had
your
to,
brother.
I'd have had
You didn't
to
wait for your brother, could you?
Put it this way: if somebody had fell off in front of me, he wouldn't have been happy if I'd have waited and gone round him. He'd have been like, "Use them as grip, son. Use them as grip."
He's just a born racer, isn't he?
Yeah. So then I pulled over to the side and waited and waited and waited. I thought I'm going to be out of fuel and battery on the GoPro in a minute, and waited and waited. Then some like
Do you have to do any autographs or anything?
everyone was thinking, what the
Selfies.
hell
Is he
has
doing?
he's come from the front and stopped and waited for 1,000 people. And then, we waited there, and eventually you two turned up.
There's only about 3 people behind us.
I honestly don't think I didn't see anybody behind you.
Yeah.
I did.
Probably right.
I was like, I know we said we weren't going to take it too seriously, but I thought, Jesus.
Well, we was at the back, weren't we?
Well, why
On the
did you
back
run?
fence.
Then why did you run? That doesn't make no sense if you both
Made
ran.
sense, didn't it?
Everyone
Made
was
sense at the
running.
time, didn't it?
We were involved.
Everybody else was running.
You
Just running it.
That's like the in-betweeners, what was it?
It's like when the police come in. If everybody else is
When they're
running, you got to
running.
run it. You can't just stand there, can you?
You're just in a stampede. Just go for it. It's nuts.
Brilliant. So you eventually caught up and we all joined
caught
together.
up.
Yeah, caught up. Well, yeah, definitely caught up. And then we pulled onto the beach. And then we go to a part where they held everybody to go again. But by the time we got there, that was all over.
Just saying, getting onto the beach. This is the first time I've ever rode on the sand. So
Forgot about that.
literally, yeah, they did. They literally forgot about that. Literally, I'm like, hold on a minute, this just don't feel right.
And
It's
what
like,
did it feel like when you first hit
It's
the
like
sand?
I was swimming, and I can't swim. It was like I was swimming. It was like
It doesn't go straight, does it?
no, nothing straight, nothing straight. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing.
And
Brett
then,
was all right with that though. When you Brett, you was all right with that.
No, I was thinking this is, for me, it was weird. I was just thinking, try and keep the power on.
yeah, see, it was probably the opposite for me where
Yeah,
I knew
that
it was
was
going to be
opposite for me.
bad. So
Yeah.
like you probably weren't too worried about it. I was thinking, oh God. I was thinking,
Didn't stop you though, did it? You were both. I was thinking, oh, no, I've got to catch him up now. Luckily, it was all right though, wasn't it? It was all right. First corner.
So we go around the first corner, there's a dune, or you could go the chicken route, which was about half a mile around this dune. So we went the chicken route because I thought we can't get stuck and do a
Can't
clutch
fall off on the first.
dune. So
I've seen that happen.
yeah, exactly, and race over. So we went around the first dune, went down. It's a 2 mile straight.
Is it 2 miles?
Or
is
2
it?
kilometres, sorry.
2 kilometres,
2
so
kilometres
1.6
straight.
or-
Yeah. So we went down this massive, great big straight. We took it steady, didn't we? Because you were a little bit worried about.
Well, it was washy, wasn't it? It was very wet.
Like that.
Very wet, and it's like you're not experiencing it. It like it is a scary part because at the front, and it's been shown on years before, when there is a breakage or somebody breaks down, like it's a massive problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
And that was my worry after what had happened with the gearbox, because I've had a bike seized before, so knowing what to do, just clutch it straight in, especially on a 2-stroke, clutch it straight in, and then it'll just roll. But after what happened to that gearbox and it locking up, and the clutch did nothing, and it's still locked up, if that had happened going down the straight, so that did worry me a little bit.
Yeah, which is fine when there's nobody
nobody behind you. Well, I would have still gone flying.
We got overtaken by a dog walker. Did you hear him say about the dog walker?
The dog walker, yeah.
So basically, Gareth was saying that there's one guy, because it's a public right of way, and he doesn't agree with it, obviously. So every year, apparently, this guy walks up the straight with his dog for no other reason but to piss everybody off.
Yeah, disrupt it.
So he did say to everybody before he started, be careful, there's a man on the start straight.
Yeah.
With his dog. I didn't see him.
I didn't see.
I was too
He'd
busy.
probably been run over by that stage, didn't he? There was like 1,000 bikes in front of us.
Just on somebody's handlebars. Just hooked up. Dog tried to keep up. I wonder what dog he's got. So we were warned about him. And that was before you two had to run. I was just sat there enjoying my Sunday afternoon.
No, I did hear that. I was in the toilet.
I was going to say I was stood outside the toilet.
Were you still in the toilet when they did the briefing?
Yeah. Honestly, it was
that was like a minute before.
Yeah, it was 1 minute. I tried to put my goggles
on. He
come
out and we were running. Yeah. He come out the toilet running.
So the doors are the gates are open.
They were just pulling him.
For fuck's sake! So the race started and you were in the toilet.
Just had time one quick wipe and that was it.
Jesus Christ!
That was it.
No wonder I was waiting for so long.
I've been waiting 3 days for that.
It's a good job nobody used that toilet after you then. So we did the straight, and then the first corner it went horribly wrong, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it just shows there was no rush, didn't it? Because when we got to that first corner, the very first corner. So it's like a massive, great big sweeping left. Yeah. So I went round there, sort of nice and steady round, thought everything was good. Look behind, no Darb. So he's leading the way, and I'm thinking, I'll just follow him, exactly what he's doing. So he's gone really wide, so left, and then there's a
right hand, but he went to the left.
Yeah, so he went really wide and then turned right, and I couldn't turn as sharp as what he did. So I know I was already in the rut at this stage. I sort of ride it out. I've just plop.
The biggest rut in the world.
Honestly, it was a massive rut, and it just plopped straight into a load of water.
And how far off my line was that?
Literally 6 inches. Literally the next rut from where Mark was, and I've just dropped straight into the water. And I was just thought, this just can't be. I just can't be first one out of this race. It can't be race over here. I just wanted the water to swallow me up, to be fair.
And then we sort of went for a few, and then basically how they've done, like when I said that it used to be harder back in the day. So what they used to do is get the big buckets of sand, and when we're talking buckets, I'm talking machine. And how high do you reckon the dunes are, would you say?
I reckon they're between 30 and 40 feet off a level, and then obviously where they've dug out. So on the back side of the dune, in between, say, the first and the second, it's deeper.
I'd say the big ones are, what do you reckon, 20 metres high?
Yeah, easy. We can drive. You can drive vehicles through them. They're in big tubes and that. You can drive.
He said that one was that one is. He said it's 70 foot, and they took 3 meters off it
because it was too high.
Because it was too
dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what that machine.
So 20 meters. Yeah, so 20 meters ish. So they're absolutely massive, but they don't bucket them this year. So they basically put these lumps of sand and didn't make them compacted.
Left it all loose. So when we came to the first dune, there's 10 identical, soft, unprepared dunes, and the queue was hundreds and hundreds of people. Yeah, and I reckon some of them cheated.
Loads of them cheated.
You watch that video,
but I'll have it on the GoPro.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Well, when we come around that first corner, that's what I was saying. There was no rush because when we got to the first corner, there's 100 riders right there. So straight away, we weren't last.
No,
because literally, because they were all, there was already
they turned their bikes off, hadn't they? They were just sat there,
and there was bikes already stuck. There was a bike
on the,
I think the very first dune or second dune. Again, we'll see it on the GoPro. There was just a bike just stuck. His back wheel was all the way submerged in the sand.
Done. Yeah.
Done.
Because basically there was this massive, great big long straight of 10 dunes and it went round and then loads of holes. So for us, that must have been a good, 20 minutes, I'd said, to get down that first bit.
Yeah.
And people were cutting the track at the start of the dune and cutting across. So they were missing out those first two sections.
First two sections,
which would put somebody from probably 800th to 200th?
I reckon more than that.
More than that.
I reckon they'd be
Top 100.
Top 100, yeah. I reckon.
Just by cutting.
And there was
across.
a batch of them.
There was about 8, 10?
I reckon probably 30.
Would you think that many people?
Well, I don't know. It looked like that.
Did you
but
see somebody from the crowd go and shut the
shut
gate?
the gate, yeah. But also, if you have a look on,
How did you not see all of this?
There's some other video.
All I had was a blur.
There was some other video, and there were some people on the top.
I saw that. On the top,
riding outside the fence, but across the top.
Oh, I saw that. I did see that on the right hand side, like literally where the
so how did they
golf
get
course
out?
was.
It was bizarre because we did agree that like we weren't cutting the course. We were going every single
every
meter.
bit of the track was for one lap.
I would have took a shortcut if I could have. I would have.
If we'd have let you.
I know where you needed to take the shortcut.
Yeah.
So Darb got over. I think you did the first 2 dunes.
Yeah.
And I think you got stuck on the third one, I reckon you did. I think you did.
Honestly, it's a blur. I can't wait to watch some footage.
I think he went over the first one and then stopped in the bottom. And at that point, you'll probably be on the GoPro. You said he needs to keep going here.
Yeah.
And then you went and had a word with him and then you got up and over, but then you come off. But then you did 3 in a row. You just did 3 straight
But it was
off,
crazy.
didn't you?
It weren't just a dune. It was just because, like, what people don't understand, it's really hard to understand. Like, it's not just physical, it's the mental side of it. So, like, there's bikes everywhere.
Yeah.
And, like, if anybody's rode on ruts, like, it's not too bad riding a rut if you can ride a bike. It's not too bad, but getting out of that rut, and when there's a bike in that rut, to try and miss it, it's like so difficult.
Yeah.
Especially for me, it was like near enough impossible. So I had to be so careful and pick that line. And that was just like, when you see Todd doing it, he didn't pick anything, does he?
And the trouble is, you've got that noise coming from behind.
Yeah, you got everything. You've got a fear of being hit.
You can hear the bikes, can't you, coming from different directions, you think. And then when you swear offline, you think, about to get collected.
Yeah.
And did you notice that Todd lapped us on the third? We were on the 3rd June.
Yeah.
When he lapped us.
Yeah.
So we'd done probably 200 meters.
If that June, the first June.
And he lapped us.
Yeah.
So we'd done the straight and the first.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, that first lap, when he's got nobody else there.
Oh yeah, piece of piss.
Yeah, well, not piece of piss. I don't know about that piece of piss, but that's one thing. You ain't got the obstructions, have you? You've got the obstructions. You ain't got the obstructions by the vehicles. His lines would have been solid though. The jumps, like everything would have been twice as big, wouldn't it?
Imagine how hard that would have been without any sort of trampled down sand. I'd rather be where we were.
Couldn't have done it.
I was quite happy where we were.
Yeah. I don't think I could have done it with the way, the first lap, being the first rider, I couldn't have done anything.
What I want to ask you then, before we got to that first tune, I pulled up and waited and you two were further back.
Yeah.
Why did you stop further back?
Because he didn't want to pull up. After he'd got stopped, he didn't want to pull up into the carnage.
Because I was sat back off it, but you just think
I can't even remember.
You was apprehensive. I was going, come on, and you were like going, I'm all right here. And I was thinking, we're in a race. We need to keep moving. And he was like, no, I'm all right here. We'll wait. And I was going, well, wait up there.
Come on.
Yeah. I said, he's calling us on. And he was like, I'm all right here. I'm all right.
Leave me here to die.
I'm pretty sure at the start there, I was like, you two just crack on.
Yeah, he was.
You two crack on. I'll be all right.
You didn't want I think you was just trying to comprehend it all and get it all in your head. Because it was daunting. When you come round and all them bikes.
It's the amount of people there, isn't it?
And they're on the floor as well, and I really didn't want to run anybody over because I didn't want to get run over. So I'm thinking, what goes around comes around. I've been there before, so I'm thinking if I hit somebody, they're going to hit me. That's generally how it works, isn't it? You don't think like that, do you, man? You don't think about that. But yeah, so it was like, but just dodging the bikes. Literally, when you go up them dunes, you are handlebar to handlebar, and I was clipping handlebars, and then that doesn't help, and then.
That first few dunes, it was busy, wasn't it? It was really busy.
I went over the handlebars on the backside of one, landed on the bars, wobbled left, going up the hill, tried to accelerate out of it, and I fell on this bloke, and he was going ape shit.
What's it?
He weren't fucking happy.
Was you all right with it? Was you happy with him or not?
I managed to get up, lift my bike up, but I picked his bike up as well, and I was going, I'm sorry. And he was still going at it, and I was thinking, if I didn't have this GoPro
That's so true.
I said, mate, I'm still
Or if
sorry.
you'd had a beer.
That's it, yeah. And he goes, I said, we're both in this together. So he had his bike, I rolled down. And he said, sorry, mate, sorry. I said, it's all right. And then we both got
that bloke needs to comment down here.
Yeah, because he probably didn't know how close he was to dying.
Please, please.
That's not true.
That could be a boxing. Can we get that boxing thing going? Get him and Brett now. We've got Brett's line up.
We need to know who he is. To be fair, he's going to be on the GoPro, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was on the GoPro.
So we'll have his number. We'll have his number.
We'll find out
his
who he
number
is.
plate.
He was fine.
Because when the vlog comes out for this, obviously it'll have all this sort of stuff in which we're talking about now, and I am looking forward to some of them bits where we spoke about
Hallucination.
So we sort of like went through a few bits, and it was hard work, wasn't it? So we'd done the first straight really well, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then went down the second straight, and then we started to see obviously Jord and Luke and Jane, Kirst, Wend, and everyone was sort of like cheering us on.
Yeah.
And we saw them, and then
That was on the third straight, wasn't it? Because it's straight up the Ten Commandments.
Where we stopped on the corner, and like I looked at Darby and he was pink. That was the first corner. That was the second corner.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Is it that early on?
Is it when your eyes were wobbling?
So
Was that after the 10? After the 10?
After the 10 Junes, you pulled over.
No, I think that was the next, because it goes back on itself, back down. Was it? I don't know. We'll have to have a look.
But
it was
so
early
basically.
Was it?
Yeah, we hadn't
No,
even got
because I
round
remember you saying it's sort of halfway.
No.
When I was done.
No,
way
that was
before
after.
that.
That
Way
was
before
after that. We stopped there, you had a drink.
Was you lying to me saying halfway?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I said to her, I can't tell him the truth.
Is that like Morrison?
So it was. We had a code red, basically. Well, Darb had a code red, and we all we knew it was going to be tough for him, didn't we? We obviously knew it was going to be extremely tough for you, and
You did.
I was worried. I wasn't worried for you because I thought it was going to be funny, and I thought it made great content. But
That's what you was thinking.
But I didn't. Honestly, now
I was the fool guy.
Honestly, I didn't think you'd get round because I know how hard it is. And I knew you'd try and you'd die trying. I know that, but I didn't think you'd have the ability to get over them first 10 Junes. If I hadn't seen them first 10 Junes and how it usually is, you'd have got round. But then when I saw how hard it was this year and I saw them 10 Junes, I thought you got no chance because they were so hard.
I love that.
Anybody.
How he underestimates me. I love it.
They were, it doesn't get any tougher than that. Unless you're doing Erzberg or something like that, it was solid to even ride up and down them, especially at the speed we were going.
I want to go back to what you was going to say there, Brett. Literally, when I'd done that, when I was literally halfway or wherever we were, I was done. I was done. The most done I've ever been in my life. I was done. I've done cross countries, big races, been out of breath before, been chased.
By chased by somebody's ex.
I've been chased by the police before. Everything. I've been out of breath before, but I was super done. And Brett said to me, "You all right?" I went, "No, I can't see straight." I was overheating, sweating like I've never sweat before.
In the next breath, Mark asked you if you was okay, and you went, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Yeah, because I was thinking, I've got to just put it out of my mind. I just got to crack on.
We'll go right, and I was behind you going to Mark. He ain't going anywhere. He's done.
Literally, my arms were jelly. I couldn't feel like I could. Not arm pump because I don't get that. Never had that. Don't quite get that. But my arms were jelly, just because I was spent. But luckily, I had done a little bit of training with Brett. He took me to the gym the week previous before I'd done me back in.
And you honestly think that helped? I just
knew mentally,
yeah. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, I ain't been out of breath, or I haven't done anything for an hour or whatever. An hour's exercise for 20 years. Proper hour. An hour's exercise. it's just then happened in 20 years. So when we went to the gym and we did 45 minutes of proper training and I was sweating and that, I had stitch and I like stitch like when I was flipping at school, like doing cross country or something, like proper stitch. And I was thinking, and Brett was like, I said, I've got stitch, Brett. Brett was like, yeah, I've got stitch as well, just crack on. And I was like, no, this is different stitch to what you've got. This stitch hurts. So like, I had to stop and take a breather, but literally took a breather for like 3 or 4 minutes, missed out one of the little circuits, missed out a 3-minute circuit, and then I could go again. So I thought, oh, okay, you know, maybe this won't kill me. I won't have a heart attack and die. So I had that in the back of my mind thinking if I could just get a breather here, I might come back to life. And then you encouraged me to do another straight. So we did another straight.
Oh, hang on. No, before that, we had the best throw in the world and the best catch in the world in the race.
Oh, yeah, that was it. When I was done.
Paul 7.
Yeah.
Paul 7 threw that
that's-
bottle of water to
I reckon
you.
that's what saved me.
Lucas
Lucas 8, yes. And he was
So he was like a lane
a track,
away.
the width of the track, yeah.
So he got I see him there. So I said to him, have you got a drink? And he threw the drink and I caught it. And like, I thought that's me done. I've done everything in my life now because I caught it. Like I didn't.
You never caught anything
coming,
before.
I just went like that. Like that.
No, it was a brilliant catch. It was brilliant.
Well,
but you've never caught anything before.
Never.
Only a cold.
Only a cold. I
That's
couldn't catch it. Nothing.
You couldn't catch nothing.
And like it was exceptional, wasn't it?
And that was for me,
Snatched
wasn't
it,
it?
yeah.
You did that
Like,
for me.
I'm sure people left that day thinking the straight was good, Todd Kellett was good, but that kid in the yellow shirt, how he caught that bottle was next level.
Yeah.
And it was next level.
It was.
George, did you see that? Luke, did you see it? Oh, you missed the best thing ever.
brilliant.
It was unbelievable.
He'll be playing rugby next year.
Yeah.
American footballer.
So we got
That's on tonight, I think.
So we got Darb sort of like to that stage, got some drink into him. But I think part of the problem was having to start your bike each time as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that drink, going back to that drink, that could have been anything. That could have been piss in that bottle. I would have still drunk it. Whatever was in that bottle, it looked like Lucas said, but it could have been piss. I'd have still drunk that. That's how I was done.
I said to Mark, I've never known you drink out of somebody else's bottle either. Because that ain't you, is it? You would not let your lips touch somebody else's.
Honestly,
and I was
anything.
thinking,
It would just look wet. Literally, I would have drunk anything. I was just done. I think I'd been sick in my mouth at that stage. I literally had been sick, I think that's when it was.
You didn't look comfortable.
No, I
comfortable.
was flipping super done. And then that just gave me a little bit of a pick me up. Then we did the next straight, didn't we?
And the next one, I think. You did the next two, didn't you?
I can't remember.
We did when we started to get to the big dunes.
No, that was it. Then we seen Luke and Kurt.
Yeah,
and Jay
then we got to the big ones, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I remember going up this one big one, and Brett had gone over the dune, and I think you'd crashed to the bottom of the dune.
Probably.
I was still stuck on the top, waiting for Darb, and Darb was at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I'm stood there thinking, shit, what am I going to do with this bike? This lad pulled up next to me, give me a fist pump, and his dad sent me a message on Instagram. So like, drop a comment below because like we owe you a big thank you. So I'm sat there thinking, what am I going to do with my bike? He's pulled up next to me, give me a fist pump. Yeah, like obviously watch the channel. And I said, any chance you can just hold me bike? And he must
Is
have
that what you said to him?
Yeah. And he was like, must have thought, I mean, no offense, mate, but I'm in a fucking race.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've paid 150 quid to go around the beach. And he was like, yeah, sound. So I was like, oh, cheers, mate. So I've run down to you.
Brilliant.
Got you. And he's like, as I got back to the thing, I was expecting my bike to be lay on its side. And he still sat there holding me bike.
Fair play.
Like just
lad.
unbelievable.
I think I'd have gone over the bars then. I don't know if that was the time. I don't. When I went over the bars, none of you saw that.
No.
I heard that bit because I jumped straight back on really quick. That was, and then I don't know what happened there. I must have just dropped it going up a dune.
You know when we stopped for the water though, and we had the bottles of water, and he was cooking. I could see he was cooking, and I poured the water in your water in his.
Oh, yeah, that's another story. Should we go through that? So we got 3 bottles of water, which obviously down on the beach was probably about £20.
Yeah, rare.
So they had 3. We each had a bottle. Like Brett downed his, Darb downed his. I was halfway through mine, just taking it steady, thinking, oh, this is amazing. And he's gone, Darb's overeating. Took the bottle out of my hand and tipped it down Darb's back. And I'm like, fucking tip your own down his back, not mine. So everyone's had a drink and I've had 0.
I've had 3 bottles. I've had one in my mouth, one down my back and helmet, and one down my pants.
But he was like a cat. He was like,
I hope that was. Yeah.
That's better. I'm all
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
I'm all right. Got a bit around your bollocks and on your head.
Yeah,
The
honestly.
two cooling devices.
And I was just thinking, I hope Luke had bought them drinks. It cost him 20 quid. That's probably all he spent all weekend.
Flipping brilliant. But like we were on the 1 June and I was saying to you, I was speaking to you and you were just looking at me, but no words were coming back. And I was like, you okay? Do you want to carry on? You were like, just staring at me. And then you were looking for somebody else to help you out. And I was like, are you okay? And you stopped speaking.
Lost for words. That's what it was, wasn't it?
But you had stopped speaking. You didn't have the energy to even speak.
I just knew that I just got to get through this little, you know, when you've just hit a wall, that wall is so true. Like when you've hit that wall, but if you can just get over it and then you can move on, can't you?
We thought it was done, didn't we? We thought it was over. We did think it was over. And then like when you had that, because you had a heart rate monitor on, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the Apple Watch on.
So who else races Weston Beach Race with an Apple Watch?
Well, there was a reason behind this. First of all, I thought, I'm going to take a phone. So I thought, I had to take one of these little phones. So if I break down, I'll be like, Jay, come and get your flipping bike. It's on June numbers 18, do you know what I mean? Come and get it. I ain't getting it, I'm knackered. But then I thought, it's all right, because my Apple Watch, it's a cellular one. I thought I can use that, make a call. Or an ambulance or anything. You know what I mean? If I need something.
Or your mum.
Yeah.
But
Cursed, quick, I need a drink.
to the heart rate,
Yeah.
what was it reading?
I was 189.
From, what did it
All day.
59. No, 59.
Yeah, 59. My resting's 59.
189.
189, yeah.
How good's that?
How bad's 189? Is that bad?
Well, for Darby, it is.
Well, at 189.
It's never going to be.
That's something his heart's never seen before. I'm telling you, that's a first for him. Definitely.
189 and I couldn't, my vision weren't brilliant. It weren't brilliant. But I think that had a lot to do with, flipping out if it had gone. I just thought, well, I've been sick and I don't like being sick anyway. I was sick in my mouth and I thought, get rid of that. And it's just concentration. You've got to try and a lot of it was will.
Brilliant.
Like I thought
it was brilliant. The fact that you did it and we got over that last big June and it was like your own.
Yeah.
When you did that,
yeah.
literally that out then, literally I
said to you,
it had come back.
Here comes the hotels. When we get over this June.
That was it. Yeah.
Good.
And then when you said walk down, I was like, no, I ain't walking down.
Oh, of course, that was the big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the big one. And then Brett was like, I'll get your bike up for you. Because literally
You got to the top, but it was like 8 foot from the top.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
so I pinned it.
Got stuck.
And just before the big June, there's like a dip where it's dug out. And I pinned it. And then when I hit that and hit the June, and then I lost all the speed because the throttle goes down. And on a 2-stroke, when you've like out of the power band, it's like you might as well have stopped. And then I've pinned it again to get up the June, clutching it up. And I nearly got there and somebody was where I wanted to be. And then I couldn't just keep going. So I eased off to hopefully for him to get out. Of course, when you ease off on that June, you just done. I thought I could walk it to the top, but that would have just killed me. Yeah. And then Brett just run down to the rescue. You held his bike, didn't you?
Yeah. I got my feet up.
Yeah. And then when I come to the top, and then Mark was just like, look, we ain't got far to go. Brett just got the bike up. All three of us was there and he was like, look, this is where we are now. It's not too bad now. And then that was it. I'd got a lease of life then. Literally, I'd literally cooled down. I felt like I just had a quick cup of tea and I was ready to go again.
But that second half of the lap is a different world compared to that first half of the lap.
Literally, I can deal with them ruts and the stuff like I don't mind that. It's slower, steadier, but I loved it. Just, in fact, I probably like that bit better. Like the puddles and that I could deal with because my legs are shorter. I could drag my feet. Yeah. It was just
paddle through.
Do you remember that last corner when we stopped on the outside and I was like, that's the finish.
Yeah,
that's the finish. It was like because we weren't 100% sure how far we'd got to go, did we? And then it was like, oh my god. So we went past the finish line. I think it took us 1 hour
10. It was 1 hour 10, I think.
I reckon it was more than that.
No,
it was 1:10.
I checked after you said.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 1 hour.
1 hour 10.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Our time was 1 hour 10. Well, Darb's time was 1 hour 10.
Yeah.
Then you, then me.
Yeah.
No way, I didn't realise that.
So you two were slower, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
You had the fastest lap.
You had the three of us.
At the half an hour break.
And then we went into the pits. Sort of like had a bit of a tea break, saw everybody.
Pizza.
Oh yeah, of course. I'd ordered a pizza.
We had a bit of an emotional minute.
Yeah, so fucking hell, yeah.
It was good. He's like,
And do you know what? I've raced, I don't know how many years I've raced, 30 years, I don't know how long I've raced. And I can honestly say that was the best lap of my motorbike career.
yeah.
Literally the best lap I've ever had. And I know you were worried that we were having to wait, but it was just magical.
Brilliant, yeah.
I think it was
Absolutely
great.
magical.
To be part of the whole thing, to be part of the whole thing, the whole event and what it was for. It
was magical.
Me and Brett was talking afterwards, we were talking the other day. I think it's probably the only team sport you've ever done. I don't think you've...
I've been on team sports, but not still been in the team.
You're not too much of a team player. It's like, I think it's the only time that's probably why it was different. Because like usually you're on your lonesome and it's all about you. It's all about me. I'd like to thank me.
Been a racer, you ain't hanging on for people, are you? Fucking going somewhere fast.
But it is like a solo sport, isn't it?
You're very much like,
you know what I mean?
You're not allowed outside assistance, and I don't know really how it works. I suppose you can help each other, surely. But
in some of the
Are we disqualified?
Yeah,
no. In some of the footage,
I don't care.
In the ruts and that, you see riders like at first they're running each other over, and then on the second and third laps they're helping each other through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The one who's stuck, the one behind him will get off, help him pull through, pull his bike out so he can get through. Then he goes, so out of respect, he'll go back and pull him through, and then they go off together, sort of thing.
Everybody's got personal goals there, haven't they? Everybody wants their personal best, I suppose. Everybody wants to beat what they did last year.
Sense of
if
achievement.
they're going back every year, I'm not going back every year. So like, I just had to do that lap. So that was my goal. Like everybody's got the goal, isn't they?
Yeah, no, it's good.
To get around that. And all together, it was flipping great. It was teamwork, wasn't it? And it was great. It was flipping funny. It was funny. Even though I was in pain, I still thought it was funny. That don't make sense, but that's how it was. It literally was like super, super funny.
It's the vision. I mean, all week I've been laughing to myself.
Yeah.
You're right. My eyes are shaking.
Yeah. And then straight afterwards, I couldn't say that to Mark because Mark would have gone like, just pull in.
I'm all right.
And then when we pulled in and Kirsten, Luke and everybody was there and they were all saying like, and I was like, I'm flipping.
Kirsten was worried
and
about
then,
it. I could see that.
And everybody was like, they had not seen me like that before, like, because I was proper spent. And
I bet you Luke's never seen you sweat.
Luke was trying to pull the barrier up. Luke was like, come on, you've had enough now. You've had a go.
For him.
You've had a game.
Yeah.
He's
drinking about 10 years.
Oh yeah, I drunk a bottle of, not only did I drink the water, I drunk his Sprite as well. Anything. Just give me anything.
So it was, and then I ordered Deliveroo. So I got on the phone for Deliveroo, got us a pizza in the pits, which was a nice little touch. So we all had pizza, had a bit of a break, had dinner, and then I did one more lap with you. We went, and I hated every split second of it.
Did you?
Couldn't stand every split second of it.
Really? I thought the first straight was brilliant.
Yeah, first day was brilliant. The flat out down the straight was amazing. But then I struggled all the way back round. And that's why I didn't come out for the last lap.
Yeah.
Because I said to Jane, because obviously when she did more, I went to see her on the trade stand, came back and said, you're right. And I said, I did another lap. And she goes, what was it like? I said, didn't enjoy it. Like I'd had such a good first lap. It was like and then when you said do one more, if I'd have wanted to, I would have done, but I just
didn't want to do it.
I just didn't want to do it. I was just like, no, that's me done. Sort of, I've enjoyed that.
You said that though, didn't you? Only do what you want to do to us all.
Do what you
want to do.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to. No. Nobody wanted to get hurt.
It's a great experience.
It would have been terrible if one of us would have got hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
And then for what?
Well,
like,
you
what are you
did
going
come
to
off.
do?
I come off. I come off in the lap the second lap. I come off straight away. I did when we got to the dunes. No, just soft and washed out, and I went down. Managed to get up, and then we carried on, and you come off towards middle to the end.
Yeah, middle to the end of the lap, like
on a
cross-rutted
flat piece.
Yeah.
Really?
Like I saw I was going around the corner and the ruts were getting deeper and I came out of the rut, then hit the next one and went down on my shoulder and I was like, nah, I'm done now. Like, that's. And I tell you what we must say as well, like the people cheering us on.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
Like, so thank you to everyone who did. Like, obviously, I don't know if you knew who we were or just saw 3 people struggling to get around the track. I'm not sure what your reasons were, but like I've every single straight, every corner.
Yeah, people were cheering us on. Yeah.
Even where we were stood on before we got to the first June, weren't they?
Yeah.
There was a
On the
family
corner,
there,
yeah.
like sort of showing us their 64 merch. And
Yeah.
met some great people. Thank you to everyone who came and said hello as well.
Yeah, got to thank it. Luke, Kirst, because if they'd have said like pull in now, you're done. Like
You'd have
I would
done.
have. If Kirst had been crying, I'd have been okay. I'm done.
I think she wasn't crying because she didn't speak.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
I
That's
think
it. She didn't want to speak to me. She
Yeah.
said, look, and I just thought that was good. And Luke just said, "You're all right," and I was like, "I will be in a minute." You know what I mean? So like he didn't say too much because but he would have he was willing to pull a barrier up. And I was like, no, I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
So obviously we finished the lap. Brett, you did another 5. Did you?
No. I did 5 in total, so I did another 3.
So after me.
I was only going to do 2.
Oh
And
yeah,
then-
it's brilliant.
And that was it then, wasn't it?
Well, no, I did 1 and I thought I can go again. And the extra one's what we did. And then I thought, yeah, I'll go again. I'm enjoying the first straight. So, and I thought it's getting easier. There was like less and less people
Yeah, I
out there.
suppose
So
there was a lot less
it was
people, yeah.
in the way of carrying your speed, it was getting easier, although it was getting tighter. When I came round on the 4th lap, everyone was stopped on the last corner, and I thought, they must be waiting for it so they do the full 3 hours. I'll pull up and wait. So I was like waiting, and then when it ticked to 3 hours, everyone went through. I thought, great, go and get a drink, and the bloke wouldn't let me in the pit, would he?
No, because everyone come over the dune,
Yeah.
and there was no Todd or anything.
Yeah. So
And
it hadn't
because-
finished.
So you have to wait. It's 3 hours, and then
Everybody
the
got it
leader
wrong, didn't they?
gets Passed.
I've never seen that happen before. I've never really seen that.
I've never
They
seen
wait.
so many people get it wrong.
Yeah,
the
that's what I
reason
mean.
why.
I didn't know what
And you were one of them.
I hadn't got a clue though.
some-
I
I was
not
di-
got
I
a
was-
clue.
There must have been 2 or 3 people went, and then everyone thought, oh,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen that before. And then everyone over the dune, everyone's like, yeah. What?
No.
What's
Got to
going
go
on?
again.
No,
He just
you've
said,
not
keep
finished
going,
yet.
keep going.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Because the 3 hours are up, but you still got to wait for the leaders across.
Yeah.
It's only up when he passes, and then everybody
So
else.
it could have been 3
that-
hours and 5 minutes long
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
So you did another lap.
Another lap.
And there's a video of like, we were in there was a lad who'd broke down, and like somebody's put a video on it. Somebody sent me a link to it. So there was somebody broke down, and he come pushing his bike past.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll help him out because I wasn't doing anything. So I've started pushing him. We're chatting away, and I'm pushing his bike. I'll be honest. I don't know who you were. Maybe a comment below. He weren't pushing very hard because I was pushing. He was quite. You could just
probably
you
cooked. He's
you
probably
could tell. And I was pushing him, and I thought like it. About me, he was the opposite corner of the pits. And I was thinking, you must be having a laugh. And we kept on pushing. I'm thinking, where the fuck has he parked? Like, where is he going to be back on the motorway?
Yeah, he wants to push back to his van.
Yeah. I got back and then he said, thank you. And then sort of like somebody put a video of it of me pushing this pushing this kid across this bloke across the thing. So I suppose position wise, do we know where we finished?
600 and
600 and something.
I don't know what it was in the over 40s.
And where did you finish?
I think 500 and something, 580.
See, I'm glad I didn't them extra laps then. Sod that for another 100 places.
Exactly, that's what I said. What you got to gain?
No,
You
it
know?
wasn't that. Was it?
No,
It was
I meant
just enjoying it, just enjoying doing
Yeah.
it.
You
It's
do
like,
exactly.
I wasn't worried about the place. Flipping hell, the first lap was 1 hour and 10.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not there for the race, am I? I was just there for just see what I could.
Just there for the
see,
pizza.
See, just what I thought was, I'll ride for the 3 hours. That's what I
Fair
thought.
play.
Just try and get
Yeah.
do the 3 hours. If
Yeah.
if everyone was happy with what they'd done, I just thought, yeah,
God, I was
I'll
more
try
than
and do.
happy.
And I'm not just saying it. It was like out of respect for your dad, because in the back of my mind, your dad had been going,
Crack on.
fucking get out there, get another one in, wouldn't he? He would have been saying it to you, wouldn't he? Like
Yeah,
you said,
like during
years
your
ago,
morning, yeah.
come on, you get another one in. You'll get.
Yeah.
I mean, you even said to me on the first time I went on my own, you could do another 3 here. You
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I don't really remember saying that.
Yeah, yeah, well, you looked-
said you could do another
you
3 here,
looked
and I was
fine.
thinking,
It was my shoulders and my groin.
yeah, I did feel it on my groins massively,
Yeah,
and that must
I
be
always
from
have trouble with my
paddling and
arms
dragging your legs.
because of all me flipping big muscles. Like I just struggled. I do though, don't I, George? I've got such big like triceps and
Guns.
that I always struggle with arm pump. But yeah, it was my shoulders. Like I couldn't get off the seat in the end. I was
To stand up.
So I was just like a rag doll going around.
Shallow
thinking,
L.
Yeah. I mean, what
Shallow
am I
L
doing?
here, innit?
What am I doing? And so obviously we sorted that out. We did it. We finished. And then somebody brought me a trophy, which, so Darb, who was responsible for this?
Darb.
So Darb got us all a trophy.
Yeah.
So we each had one of these, which was an amazing touch. You better tell me what it says because I can't read.
What?
Can't see that.
You got his specs
You
on.
can't see it either, can
I
you?
can see it. No, I want you to read it.
You can't see it, can
I
you?
can see it.
You've got to read it. Come on.
Okay, I'm going on with the spectacles. The welding. Honestly, I can't see that. Oh, there we
Can
go.
you read the 64 bit?
Weston Beach Race, 2022, Team McCann 64, RIP Pat McCann, the original 64. Fair play. Wow, idiots. Fucking hell. Right, yeah, let's not think about that anymore. So yeah, so we each got those at the end. I ate about a ton of pick and mix to try and get some energy back. Then we went back to the van. Obviously, Jay then took all the bikes back.
He didn't he?
Yeah.
So what was it like on the Monday or Tuesday morning? Where had it got you?
Well, for me, I was
It's
like,
normal.
I had to roll off the bed.
Literally.
I literally had to roll off because of me. Well, you must know what it's like. I broke as probably don't know, I broke the second vertebrae up years ago, and there's like a form of gristle form because I didn't realise I broke my back, and I left it because I broke my arm, and they thought I broke my leg at the same time. So they looked at I hadn't broke my leg, looked at my arm, didn't even look on my back, which was broke. And then there's this ball of gristle formed around. So apparently this nerves sit on that and makes you feel like you can't use your legs when you've done anything excessive. So I rolled off the bed and I had to get to my knees and then like stand up and then like walk around for a bit. And then I thought, that ain't good. And I had to go to work early, and then so it was like, it was just like that. It took me about 40 minutes to get mobile.
It's crazy, Darb.
I was all right because of the week coming up to it, my back was so bad. So, but that was fine in the race and afterwards. Just the next day, just my arms just felt like lead weights.
See, mine was shoulders and my groin.
Little bit shoulders.
But the problem I did is I went to work, sat at the desk for the day,
and didn't move.
I didn't get any better.
No.
So I should have like cracked on.
Yeah.
Like if I'd have been like what you were,
Got up
get it
walking,
going.
yeah.
So then on the Tuesday then I was even worse. Tuesday morning I was horrific, like terrible.
I was all right, but I went to get in my van at like halfway through the day and it didn't happen. It didn't work. Like I was like, whoa. What's going on here? I had to have a walk around, like an honorary lap around the van to get in it. Do you know what I mean? I had to walk around the van to get in it. And the lads are just laughing.
So that's where we finished, and we said on the day, we said like that's it, done, finished. Like really enjoyed it. Like big respect to Pat, all finished. And then what's happened since? Our WhatsApp group is now with suggestions of what we're doing this time next year.
Yeah.
So we've come up with one option we've talked about was maybe doing 2 laps next year and then 3 laps a year after. But the trouble is then in 2043 we'd have to win the race to keep up with the amount of. Because we'd be doing 20
We'd have done more laps than Todd.
Yeah.
We'd have done more laps than Todd.
So when we were like flipping 70 or something, we'd have to win to keep up with that. So maybe that's out of the question. We've talked about a sidecar.
Yep. Yeah.
Which would also be good. But yeah, drop us a comment below if you've got any other suggestions for us.
Yeah.
So maybe that won't be our last Western.
I personally feel it shouldn't be. I think that for your dad, we should keep it going of something.
I imagine that would be good, wouldn't it?
I think it'd be, and Darb doing 2 laps, I think next year, no matter what we do, whether we do quads, sidecar, I think we should do that on the first day and do the race on the second day on the 20 as well. So you get 2 laps in.
If I got to do 2 laps, I think I would go to Holland for a fortnight or something, training and stay in Lommel or something.
Get Jeffrey Early training camp.
Valkenswaard for a fortnight, I think. Holiday.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where the future holds motocross for us, but
What about the one that you put on? The moped one?
yeah, we are going to try and do a moped race, which we'll talk about, which is going to be, I think that's at Weedon, sort of Northampton. We'll have to have a look at that. It's a 4-man team, I think. That's 3 hours on a moped, though.
4-man team.
You can carry that round.
4-man team.
Yes.
One of you two.
Jordan, Luke.
Yeah, one of you two.
I'd like to see on a flipping moped, Judd.
I'll tell you what, I'll do the camera, Jord. You can take my place.
Just 2 wheels are so scary. I mean, like 4 wheels, fine with 2 wheels. Not
So it doesn't sound like Jord's up for it.
But you,
Nor
Luke,
was Darb.
Luke
Hang
does-
on, Darb weren't up for it. He's got to do it.
at least I'll be able to touch the ground on the moped, all right?
If we say you're doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, got no choice. We need to really thank Mikey, don't we?
Yeah, but
Mikey Bruford. He was like, he spent his whole life in motocross at the top level in America, helping people out. And whenever we have something like this,
Yeah.
he was
He was there, yeah.
He was-
100% behind us.
everything. And
you.
like, he was there from Thursday morning at God knows what time.
Yeah.
He came with me back to restock. I had 2.5 hours sleep on the Friday night because we were working down there as well. I sort of, and Mikey came with me
yeah.
Didn't know
just to
that.
keep me company.
Yeah.
Aw.
So like we both had 2.5 hours sleep and he didn't have to.
And we're so glad that Mikey did that, or else Mark would have spent 2.5 hours on the phone calling one of us, boring us.
That's what I had to do last year with Luke. I thought Luke was in it with me last year.
Signal's really bad.
When you get an unexpected call from Mark, it's because he's on a journey
'Cause I'm
somewhere
bored.
and he's bored. That's what it is. And I just know.
That's how it works.
But no, Mikey, yeah, definite.
Yeah,
Definite.
like,
Yeah,
amazing.
Mark, we better thank everybody. Callum.
Oh God, Callum as well.
Callum was
I
flipping
think
brilliant. He
I think
was.
he ran a marathon.
He did.
Callum was
Bless
amazing
him.
again.
Bless him.
And it's good for you to have that's your son, you know. That's
Yeah.
good to have that.
He wants to do the beach race next year.
Oh, that's
After
brilliant.
watching it, he says, "Oh, I'd love to do it." I said,
He'd
"Well,
be
do
brilliant as well. He's good, isn't he?
Like he's a grown-up lad who's still hanging around with his dad for the weekend, which is just flipping brilliant.
it." Yeah,
That is
yeah,
just.
yeah. Well, I love
I
it.
mean, I bet
mean,
you must have been the bet, like just fantastic for you.
I didn't see much of him, did I? He was gone, wasn't he? But it was. Yeah, it's good. It's great to spend time with your kids, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
great
definitely.
to spend time with your kids, and
Yeah,
I think he
100%.
enjoyed the whole thing. The whole, being at the shop in
the
the
shop.
morning, and
Yeah.
doing everything, the bits that needed
yeah.
doing there, and with Senna, he was great. And then meeting the riders, I think you met Billy Bolt.
Yeah, do you know, like it's weird, isn't it? Because like obviously I've never met Billy before, which is like seems mad, but what a unit! Fucking hell, he's massive.
He seems like a right lad as well.
Yeah, he's good. Like, yeah, I think he's got the same like mentality on 2 wheels as I've got on 4.
Yeah.
I think we're very, very similar in those sort of ways.
He can ride a bike. He can.
yeah, he
I've seen
can
some
ride
of
a
his
bike.
stuff since.
Yeah, he can. But like, I just remember sort of seeing him and thinking, fuck it. Because like that, do you know, like you see Jensen Button and people like that and you meet them in real life and they're
Yeah.
tiny and all that. And sort of, I had no idea he's a mountain.
Yeah.
A proper. What was the highlights? Was there any highlights? One thing which beating Silly Billy Bolt was good for me, and
Just getting around the lap
Getting
was the
around the
main
lap.
thing, really.
And for me, the whole thing from start to
Just the
finish,
team thing.
turning
was
up,
flipping great.
turning up there on Thursday morning. So it's the Wednesday night, Thursday morning, getting
yeah.
everything ready. And then
It was a good weekend, wasn't it?
just milling around, and all the different people that we met. Obviously, I've never met them before. Everybody was so it's like a lot of camaraderie there.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
because you're all at the same event. When people knew that you were actually riding as well, you had a few people like, "You're riding," and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna,"
like, the commentators, like they were.
Paul Winrow,
Paul Winrow and Sue. Sue was amazing on the stand as well, and like Roger and Paul who were doing the commentary as well, and then obviously there was other people with Graham and Swift who were working on the stand, and then obviously Mikey helped and Chancey, and then a lad called George who sort of like, when I put a thing on there on Instagram saying we needed some help, he like came forward and my God, what a worker. He was amazing. So he made the whole weekend achievable
easier
as well.
for you.
Yeah, because he was brilliant, and hopefully we'll see him again as well. Like, really look forward to seeing him again. So
Jord, we missed Jord out.
he didn't do nothing, does he?
Never.
Fucking presses a button.
Just gets the blame for everything. He never gets.
Like, literally.
I couldn't believe he slept in his car. I pulled up and his car was there and he was still in it. And I thought he
it was 11:15 and he was still in it.
Jord, you could have come with us.
I said to him,
We'd have put you up.
I said, you're right. He was like, I said, it's like 9:30. Is it? I was like,
I got so bad because I slept in the car and then it got too hot, so I put the window down. Then halfway through the night, I woke up and thought I pissed myself. Looked, and fucking rain was bellowing through, and I was like, oh shit. Then I put the car up. Then I was trying to warm myself up. Then I was fucking soaked. And I was just laying there like, no, this isn't it right now, is it? It took me ages to get to sleep. The next thing, you're knocking on the door. I put the window down. I'm fucking like literally like coming there with the court around me. He was like, yeah, you ready yet? And I'm like, well, obviously not right now.
Could have bunked up with you, couldn't he, Luke?
you should have said that.
Luke had a spare bed. You could have bunked up with Luke. Oh no, double bed.
Oh yeah, he loves a bit of that.
It was a small double though. It wouldn't have been.
What are you saying about Jord?
No.
What are you
How
saying?
rude.
That was out of order.
It's disgusting, Luke.
Flipping out, Luke. Used to be that size.
You know, it's like they call it a double, and it just doesn't seem like.
You can't get out of it, Luke. You can't get out of that. You've thrown yourself under the bus.
So I suppose what happens next, I don't know, like drop some comments, because like we'd love to do stuff together, wouldn't we? I think it's like really opened our eyes to how much fun we've still got left in us. So we're looking at a moped race, but like, and you know, anything, it doesn't have to be even motorsports, does it?
No.
You know, if you've got any mad, crazy events and you fancy...
I don't know what you're thinking now.
I'm thinking
your
anything.
legs are no good. Your arms are much better.
As long as it's not running.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Anything as long as it doesn't encounter running. So actually, yeah, anything motorsports.
Yeah, as long as it's got an engine, is that what you're saying?
But I want to widen it just so that I can say no.
Brett would do anything, wouldn't you, Brett? Anything.
I'd have to go. Well, no, hang on. I wouldn't do anything. I'll have,
No, you would. You've done everything. And you can do everything.
Yeah, you
Not
can.
like the rest of us.
I can't.
Can we have 4 wheels?
Yeah, I'd prefer 4 wheels if there's
Yeah.
something like
4
that.
wheels is better. Or at least 3.
Yeah.
I have to buy a Bond bug. Remember them?
The
The Bond
Robin
bug.
Reliant.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the wedding. So make sure you check the other channel, because this vlog is going to be on there. It won't be on there for a few weeks yet, but it is, like, in my head right now, sat here, it's going to be maybe the best one we've ever done. I can't imagine it. Like, hopefully it's going to be fantastic. It's the one I'm looking forward to, probably the one which Jordan's most looking not forward to for the editing. But I'm going to help him with a bit of that anyway. But
Can we help with the editing, Brett? What do you reckon? We'll just get
clue,
edited
would I?
out, won't we? It'll
Yeah.
just be your Mark.
One-man
Mark's
show.
footage.
One-man show.
I've just thought of something that we could all do as a group, and maybe like an e-bike. Take an e-bike to Bike Park Wales or Revolution Bike Park. So
Yeah, should we do a mountain bike day?
E-bike mountain bike day, which we could all get involved with, so we could have a really good crew.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
An
we could
e-bike, yeah.
e-bike. You know, you'd all be happy with that. It's not going to be too stressful on your knees. The downhills are going to be funny. This is a lot of overshooting corners and trees, and that could be something. See what people say.
that'd
Some
be good.
go-karting. I prefer some go-karting.
Yeah, we're looking at some go-karting as well. So.
Have you ever seen that the trike on the you know where you hire a trike at Snowdon? You know where they've got the biggest zip line in the world? Is that Zip World?
Oh, we can go zip lining as well.
Zip World, but they've got trikes that you come down the mountain on.
Love it.
And they're like
sounds
skidsters.
high.
Oh, and we could do got it.
There you go.
Lawnmower racing.
Yes. You see how we all went yes together?
Lawnmower racing.
I'm up for a bit of that.
Down in West Sussex, they do a lawnmower race where I think it was James Hunt used to race it as well. And when I was working down there, it's a big event. It's a massive event. And there, Maserati were going to do a lawnmower for Jody and Aidan.
Yeah.
They were going to stick a Maserati engine in a lawnmower so that the...
Well, most of them are Lamborghinis anyway, aren't they? That's basically what a Lamborghini is, isn't it?
Well, I've seen one the other day on Facebook. American bloke driving along the dual carriageway or on a tractor like a Westwood or whatever, and he had a 750 GSXR engine in it, and the bloke was in this bus and he's going laughing. What's that? And he was like, Suzuki 750, and he just went.
It's brilliant.
No roll cage, nothing. He was just gone. Brilliant.
So if you have got a lawnmower or know anybody who can lend us, and like ideally one ready for racing, ideally, because I have got a lawnmower. But yeah, if you know anybody, like if you have got that one out there, then drop us a comment below or message on Instagram, Mark McCann 64, because I think that maybe that should be our next thing, then a lawnmower race.
It's coming up to the time of year, I think.
Yeah, like flipping. So drop us a comment if you know anyone.
No, where they
Snowmobile. Snowmobile.
Yeah, so that would be good if anybody's got one. So is there anybody you two would like to say thank you to?
Yeah, we got to do a big thanks, especially to my wife, Kirst, because if it wasn't for her, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it. Because if she had said no, that would have been definite no. Because there's only 3 things I'm scared of in the world, and that's my wife, heights, and planes. Nothing else bothers me. I got a shout out to Luke, because Luke was there, helped me all the way through. Who else we got?
It's the only good thing he's ever done.
Well, yeah. He was there though, to be fair.
Yeah. Spent 10 quid on water.
Yeah, 10 quid of the water. That saved my life.
And he was concerned about you.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Only because he was driving home.
Yeah, that's what it was. Jay, because obviously without Jay it wouldn't have been possible, because I'd have had no bike.
He should have come before Kirst, to be fair. Really.
She wouldn't have been very happy about that though, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything with you guys again.
You'd have had another story, yeah? Like when we got back to the lodge and she'd punched you in the ear for talking too much.
Shut up, whack.
Like coming like that, holding his ear.
That's called something, isn't it?
Abuse. It's like going to Karen's. It's like being, my house is like Karen's. It is. Just, if anybody knows what Karen's is,
it's just living on.
We should go there, shouldn't we? We should go there. You'll see what it's like in my world. Yes, where did I get to? Luke. Go shout out to Luke.
Jay.
For providing the footwear. No, Luke's footwear though as well. Missed out Luke's footwear. No. He provided all the footwear.
You got really muddy.
Yeah. Jay, George, MX Engineering, just everybody else who helped. Callum.
Callum was brilliant, wasn't he?
Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey.
All at the same time.
Yeah, Mikey. Obviously, everybody who helped us.
Yeah.
Brett?
Yeah, for me, the same. George, Jay, Callum, you two. I'd like to thank you two, and Adam for lending me the bike. My nephew, Adam Knight. So brilliant.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Yeah. I've got to thank you two, because without you two, well, one.
Fucking hell, we've come last, haven't we? Jeez, we've got through everyone.
I said
at the bottom of the
Did I
pile.
not say it was in no particular order?
No, you didn't say that.
That's what I meant to say. Okay, no particular order, but my wife was first. That was the only order that needed to be first. Got to thank you two, because without you two I wouldn't have done it, and then obviously without you two I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. No, and for me, I'd like to. Obviously, I was glad to be asked to do it with you for your dad. And I think he'd have been proud of you for what we did, what we achieved, really, because we were just 3 chances, come up with an idea.
A fun idea.
Come up with an idea that was a long way away.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
And it happened. And it happened, didn't it? And it was. I felt honoured and great to be part of it, in memory of your dad, for definite. For me, it was amazing.
So thank you for watching that episode. thank you for these two and for everyone who helped us for literally an absolute amazing weekend. So thank you. And please drop us a comment. As always, thumbs up button if you can. Subscribe if you're not already. And please tell your friends all about it because we love doing this and we want to do more. So see you next time.